Hey guys, welcome back to 90 Feet From Home. In this week's episode of Baseball Basics, I'm going to explain the different parts that you will find in every baseball park. So this is all the parts of the infield, the regulations of the outfield, and a few of the things that you're going to find slightly off the field as well. If you ever hear any of these things referred to, or you see things on a baseball diamond while you're watching a game, you'll know a little bit more about what they are and why they're there. So right off the top of the episode, I'm going to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to be notified every time I have a new episode out, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, just ring that little bell next to the subscribe button. And remember to give this video a thumbs up if you like it so that you get to see more of them and other people find them when they're searching. And you can also follow me online at 90 Feet From Home. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So remember to give me a like there. And if ever you have an episode that you want to see or something you're not sure about in baseball, just leave a comment down below or message me on one of those platforms and I'll be happy to do an episode featuring whatever it is you're interested in. So without further ado, let's talk parts of the park. And so I've left this area here kind of open so I can show you guys pictures of what everything is as we're going along. But in the meantime, you can stare at my lovely peach scented candle that I am enjoying to celebrate the onset of spring, which is, I think it'll be summer by the time this video airs because I'm so far ahead in filming. But who doesn't like a peach candle, man? I love me some peaches. So that's what you're gonna get to see until I show you the different parts of the park. Enjoy. So let's talk about the infield first. Starting around home plate, you have home plate, which is what they use to kind of help designate what are balls and strikes if they're within the kind of zone of that plate. And home plate itself is exactly 60 feet and 6 inches from the pitcher's mound. So on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of home plate, you're also going to have your batter's boxes. And these are the boxes that the batter needs to stand within when they are taking their at-bats. If they step out during an at-bat, they can get in a lot of trouble from the umpire. If they do step out prior to an at-bat, it puts the actual at-bat itself on hold. So that's what those are there for. Behind home plate is the catcher's box, and that is exactly as it sounds, where the catcher crouches behind the plate to receive the catches from the pitcher, and the umpire stands directly behind the catcher in that box. A little further removed and just off to the side, you'll have 2 on-deck circles, one close to either team's dugout, and that is where the on-deck batter, or whoever is coming up next to bat, is going to take their practice swings. The batter that is in the hole, who is coming up after the on-deck batter, still has to remain in the dugout, kind of on the dugout steps, waiting for their turn. So a little bit about baseball field dimensions. From home plate to first is exactly 90 feet. From first to second, 90 feet. From second to third, 90 feet. And from third base to home is also 90 feet. And yes, that is exactly where the phrase 90 feet from home for my name came from. The idea that you are 90 feet from getting that run, that's kind of the whole gist of the 90 feet from home name. So they settled on that 90 feet distance because they determined it was the most beneficial to be fair to both the offense and the defense without favoring one over the other when it came to running the base paths. So running from home plate to first and home plate to third and all the way down to the outfield are your foul lines. And these lines indicate where fair territory is on the field, and if a ball rolls or is hit outside of those lines, it is considered to be a foul ball. In the outfield, you'll see it marked by large poles in the outfield, referred to as the foul poles, and they're usually bright yellow or bright white so that they're very easy to see when looking in the outfield and ruling whether or not a play is fair or foul. So beyond the infield bases, there is a section of dirt referred to as the infield dirt. And then beyond that is the outfield, which is typically made either of real grass or of turf. And there are very few turf stadiums remaining, but they do exist. And this disparity in outfield distances actually is where we get the idea of a batter-friendly park or a pitcher-friendly park, because some baseball parks are a lot easier to get those home run balls out over that outfield wall because they're quite shortened. So next to both first and third base, outside the foul lines, are the coaches' boxes. And this is where your first and third base coach will stand during innings. And they're usually there to offer advice, to take batting gloves. The third base coach will tell runners when to stop or whether or not they should keep running home so that they can just focus on running. And you'll often see some pretty entertaining hand signals out there. Lots of like, stop. or go, go, go. So the third base coach is often a lot of fun to watch for that reason. Now into the outfield, there is a warning track on the outside of the outfield grass, and there's no set distance this has to be, but it is there so that a running outfielder can tell the difference between the grass and that dirt, so they know while they're tracking a ball that they are about to hit that outfield wall and can either pull up short or just be aware and brace themselves for that impact. That's why the warning track is there. Now, those are the major parts of the actual baseball field. Outside the field, there are a couple of other things that are consistent throughout all of baseball. Each team will have a dugout, which is a place to store their game use equipment, beverages, sometimes snacks. It's also where players who are not currently on the field will sit in between innings, where batters who are waiting to go to the plate will stand, and any players who are not on the lineup for that day will also wait out the game. It's expected that all players will be in the dugout unless they're injured and are off the field for other reasons related to that injury. Otherwise, even if you're not playing in a game, you are typically expected to be in that dugout. And the dugout is connected directly to the team's clubhouse or the visitor clubhouse of an away stadium. And this is so that if there is an injury, they're easily able to get off the field and to the trainer's room, or if there's any kind of a uniform mishap, they're able to get there and kind of trade that out for a different uniform. Now, speaking of the clubhouse is just a fancy term for the locker room. And this is where they'll keep any extra equipment, extra uniforms. All of their personal effects will also remain here. And it's kind of a place for them to cool down before games, after games, and is just a very, very fancy locker room. It's also where you'll typically find, especially at a home team stadium, that's where you'll find the athletic trainer areas where they can treat minor concerns, and also where you're going to find the manager's office, all within that general vicinity of the clubhouse. Now, just off the field is the bullpen, and there will be two of these at every stadium, one for the home team and one for the away team. And the bullpen is where all of your relief pitchers and your bullpen catchers will wait during the game. And there's actually a direct phone line from the dugout to the bullpen so that the manager or the bench coach is able to call down to the bullpen and request specific pitchers get up and start to get warm so that when they're needed to come into the game, they're already ready to go. A sort of new one is the netting, and netting has always existed directly behind home plate, but this has been extended in recent years. So now you'll see an almost invisible kind of mesh netting running from the end of one dugout right around the back of home plate all the way to the end of the other dugout. And this is in place just to prevent any incidents of foul balls coming back into the stands, or if a bat slips out of a batter's hands and goes flying. This will also protect fans from any kind of injury related to that. So that is all the different parts of a baseball field. I hope you enjoyed this episode and maybe get a better understanding of what you're looking at when you're looking out over a baseball diamond now. The baseball diamond, of course, refers to all of those 90-degree angles, creating a perfect diamond shape on the field. So thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, remember to follow me, leave a comment, give it a like, and we'll see you back next time. Have a great day. Bye!